Today's top tip is all about dealing with overwhelm. So what is overwhelm? Collins Dictionary describes overwhelm quite well. If you are overwhelmed by a feeling or event, it affects you strongly and you do not know how to deal with it. For example, he was overwhelmed by longing for times past. The need to talk to someone, anyone, overwhelmed her. Synonyms are overcome, overpower, devastate. It's quite dramatic. And then you have the adjective overwhelmed. Sightseers may be a little overwhelmed by the crowds and the noise. Because the research project has got so many moving parts, we can easily feel overwhelmed by everything that needs to be done. Should you write the introduction to this research paper? Should you focus on putting together the budget? Should you email your supervisor to ask for advice on how to structure a certain section? It just gets overwhelmed, and often when we feel overwhelmed, we tend to procrastinate and just leave everything and go and do something mindless like watching TV or scrolling through social media. Now, how do we deal with overwhelm? Say you feel overwhelmed today. You know you need to do some research, but you just don't know where to start. Put away all books, notepads, close all your browsers that are open, even change location if needed. Then take a few deep breaths, and then take out a blank piece of paper if you prefer to work on hard copy, or open a blank document on your laptop if you're comfortable to do it on an electronic device. Then acknowledge to yourself, I feel overwhelmed because, and write it out. The next step is to draw all the components of the issue in a diagram of some sorts, so that you can see the bigger picture in front of you. Now add priorities, potential for delegation, and action steps to this diagram. If you prefer that not to work with a diagram, but you prefer to put it in a table, or even just to write paragraphs, that's perfectly fine as well. The biggest and most important thing is that you need to see the bigger picture in front of you. Now that you've done all that, choose one thing to work on today. What if you constantly feel overwhelmed? I'd say create positive habits. Habits are the best tool to deal with all kinds of things in your life. It's definitely worth reading up a bit more about habits and how you can create positive habits in your own life. Then setting boundaries is super important. Boundaries in terms of your workload specifically. And saying no when needed. And review your level of perfectionism. While we all strive to being perfect, but being perfect often takes so much time that we don't have time for anything else. And then delegate where you can. If there is something that you don't need to do and that it can be done by someone else, see if you can delegate some of your tasks. Now that you know how to conquer overwhelm, go and make some progress on your research, create some new knowledge, and use it to change the world.
If you found this video helpful, smash the like button. For more useful tips to boost your research experience, subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button below this video. And while you're at it, hit the bell so that you get notified whenever I produce a new video. If you need a solution to a challenge not yet covered on my channel, leave a comment in the box below. See you in the next video.